How much muscle should you expect to gain throughout your years of training? And how can you optimize your workouts and your diet in order to maximize your gains? We're gonna cover it all in today's video. We're gonna do this vlog style, so I'll be sharing footage from my workouts, everything that I'm eating for the day, as well as my overall active lifestyle. Hope you enjoy this. Let's get to it. As always, woke up around 5:30 a.m. No alarm clock needed. That is my natural wake time. Pour myself 2 cups of coffee, a little bit of unsweetened vanilla cashew milk in here. Went with a Costa Rica rainforest blend, a nice medium roast. Freaking delicious. I don't really need coffee in the morning. It's just something I enjoy. I just wake up full of energy because I get such a great night's sleep and so eager to dive into some deep work, beginning with some client programming this morning. It's 7 a.m. Time for my morning breakfast shake. 1 cup of homemade kefir, 1 cup of unsweetened vanilla almond milk, an ass load of spinach, a banana, scoop of protein powder. Along with this, I have my supplements. I'm going to enjoy every sip of this and get out for my morning walk with Chief. That was a very, very brisk walk with my furry homie Chief this morning. I got a bit more work done, then headed out the door for a kick-ass hot yoga class. Really loosened me up and really increased my sense of body awareness. Get me amped up for a killer chest and shoulder workout. Prior to that, I am hungry right now. Now, typically, this is when I'll eat my 4 free-range eggs from my friend's local farm, some frozen mixed veggies that I either cook in the air fryer or steam. And along with that, I usually have 2/3 cup oats and 140 grams of mixed berries with some cinnamon sprinkled on top. But because I am on the go, I got myself a Daryl's bar here, natural bar, 28 grams of protein. There's like honey, almonds, oats, lots of good stuff in here. Along with that, I'm having myself an apple. And I've got some sliced up peppers here, as well as 2 hard-boiled eggs from my friend's local farm. I can't go a day without eggs. I freaking love them. So 2 hard-boiled eggs will replace the 4 free-range eggs that I usually have, like scrambled or making an omelet, anything along that line. Sometimes I'll have them sunny side up, dip some toast in there. But this should be a hearty meal, so I'm going to enjoy this, head over to the gym, get some footage for you coming up in a bit. Damn, did I ever own that chest and shoulder workout. I am absolutely feeding off the energy in this new gym. Going to play some footage from that workout as I talk about how to maximize your gains with your workouts. First thing is, I don't want you to get stressed over the minutia. There is no such thing as perfect form, no matter how many times you see those guys, fit pros, waving their finger at you saying, no, 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 don't perform it like this. And got to do it like this to be most effective. Next thing you know, 3 months later, they say, no, 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 don't do it like that. I know I shared that before, but this is the right way to do it. That's wrong. There is no such thing as perfect form. It's going to be very individual to you. We are all built different. For example, like common advice, especially when it comes to like the incline dumbbell bench press here, is to tuck your elbows at about a 30-degree angle. Some say it's going to be safer on your shoulders, but I have clients that actually that angle bothers their shoulders. They prefer not to tuck their elbows at all. It feels safer on their shoulders. So you got to do what feels best to you. You see, during that set, like I varied my elbow angle. I just went with what felt best for me from rep to rep, getting playful with the movement and going with what feels best. With the lateral raises, the advice used to be lead with your pinky fingers. That's how you're going to get more of the emphasis on the lateral aspect of the delts. I preach that because that's what I was taught. But again, I think that's part of what caused some of my shoulder issues, niggles and aches and pains in the past. Then I stopped doing that, going more with like my palms facing more parallel to the ground, even thumbs pointing up and just leaning my body forward a little bit to keep the emphasis on the lateral aspects of the delts. But again, it's going to vary from workout to workout. It's going to vary from set to set. So go with what feels best to you. Don't get caught up in the science of like the best number of sets per muscle group per week. I know they say like 10 to 20 sets on average is great, even as high as 45 sets per muscle group per week. We don't really know what is the best number of sets. And again, it's going to be very individual. We're all going to respond different to different training volumes, and we will truly never know ourselves, even if we experiment with different training volumes, which one is best for us, which is why I like to periodize my training volume. I'll have some lower volume training phases, ramp it up, and then pull it back again. So my muscles resensitize to the training stimulus, allow my body to fully recover, and the fatigue to dissipate from my muscles and my joints and tendons. So mixing up training volume is great. Again, training frequency. Research has shown they all work the same. The benefit of training frequency is like when you start ramping up your training volume, it's better to train a muscle group more times per week. So you're getting the most out of those sets. So if I'm doing just like 8 to 12 sets per muscle group per week, you're fine doing like a body part split routine, hitting each muscle group maybe once a week, twice a week at the most. You start ramping up, then you want to do like 2 to 3 times per week or even more at times. So playing around with that, again, there is no best. There is no perfect. Just have fun with it. Master the fundamentals. The most important thing is effort, giving your best effort in the gym. That is where it's at. That is what's going to maximize your gain. I know there's been a lot of talk about leaving reps in reserve for a lot of the sets. We really suck at gauging how many reps we have in reserve. So just give it your freaking best effort. I say for each and every set. Like for myself personally, as this past year, I used to leave, like in the past, I would do first set 2 to 3 reps in reserve, second set 1 to 2 reps in reserve, last set, best set, all out effort. Now I'm like, first set 1 rep in reserve, second and third set, all out effort. Like I find like if I'm giving my best effort to each and every set, training to true momentary muscular failure, where I know I couldn't push up another rep, even finishing with a slow negative, I know I'm going to get in and out of the gym a lot quicker. I don't need as many sets. Basically getting in, if I'm in and out of the gym in 45 minutes, you're in the gym for an hour and a half, I'm getting in just as many effective sets and effective reps as you are. So again, if you like to be in the gym in an hour and a half, go ahead, spread it out. But just realize like a lot of the volume you're doing is what some would consider junk volume, just unnecessary volume. But again, if it suits you best, roll with it. That's what matters. That's what matters most, because I used to love it. It worked for me. So go with what works for you. But I prefer myself. Like I love the feeling of just giving my best effort, getting in and out, and just having fun with it all. So that is my 2 cents when it comes to muscle building. There's every freaking split works. Have fun, play around with it, try different things, have an open mind. Just keep your enthusiasm sky high by keeping some variety in your training. Don't have to mix it up every month. Stick with the plan for 8, 12, 16 weeks at a time, just making subtle adjustments, like maybe swap out an isolation exercise here or there, an advanced training technique here and there. But you don't have to completely overhaul your training plan each and every month. I'm out picking up a few groceries for tonight's dinner. Onto my post-workout meal, my go-to post-workout meal, 260 grams of coconut Greek yogurt. Sometimes I'll use vanilla, sometimes I'll use plain. Either way, I freaking love it, along with 140 grams of frozen mixed berries. Go pick up the groceries, and we'll get on to dinner in a bit. My son is coming over for dinner. I am making his favorite. Got some pork cutlets that I just dipped in a little bit of egg and a little bit of Italian breadcrumbs there, as well as a sidekick here, Chipotle sidekick, as well as a Chipotle cheddar salad. Nice, easy, quick, convenient. I enjoy it myself. Nothing wrong with a little bit of processed foods here and there, especially when most of your diet is nutrient rich. The pork cutlets were on sale. That's how I roll. I usually go for what is on sale that day. The lean ground beef was on sale as well, so I am meal prepping right now. I've got some chili in here that will definitely last me a few days here. I'll probably end up freezing some. And yesterday I had a 20-ounce salmon fillet. Freaking incredible. That was on sale, along with some basmati rice and some mixed veggies there. So I try to get, I usually have fish 2 to 3 times per week. I try to have chicken once a week, turkey once a week, a lean ground beef, or even a steak once a week there. Sometimes it's a tuna steak as the fish there. So I try to get in a variety of proteins. I try to get in a variety of veggies. So the chili has veggies in there, kidney beans, the lean ground beef, you know, all of that good stuff, chickpeas. So really, really good. So I try to get in a variety of micronutrients into my diet to make sure I am optimizing everything and getting everything in me so I can perform my best, feel my best, just live my life to the fullest. Now, to optimize your diet, to maximize your muscle gains, it's really important to make sure that you are in a calorie surplus. I'm going to include a link down below in the description to the free guide, Lose Fat, Get Jacked, that'll walk you through this entire process there with the calorie calculator to tell you what your TDEE is, your maintenance level calories, and how much calories above you should go in order to maximize your muscle gains. So if you are new to lifting, I'd say like a 300 calorie surplus is going to be more than enough. If you've been lifting for like 5 years or so, maybe 200 calorie surplus. If you've been lifting for more than 10 years, like 100 calorie surplus is going to be adequate enough to sustain continuous muscle gains. Now, it's going to seem very minimal. That's not a big difference from your maintenance level calories. Really tough to gauge because maintenance level calories is always in flux. You're never going to be burning the same amount of calories each and every day. So you're never truly in 100 calorie surplus or 200 calorie surplus. You never truly know where you're actually at. So you're going to have to really judge by the scale. Is it trending upwards consistently? That is what you want to look for, maybe not on a daily basis, especially if you've been lifting for more than 10 years and the gains are coming at a slow and steady pace. You're kind of looking at like it's going to be very minimal gain even after a month. You're going to be looking at like 3 months down the road. Is there a trend going upwards? So for myself personally, I just finished a 12-month muscle building phase. Weight was going up consistently, very slow and steady. Again, nice 100 calorie surplus there. And noticing that I'm gaining a little bit of fat through the process. So when I am flexing, clearly, I mean, I look freaking ripped and shredded. I stay lean throughout this process. I am in my sweet spot where I feel my best and perform my best. But I know my lower abs were like crazy freaking detailed at the beginning of this muscle building phase. Now the lower abs have lost some of their definition when I'm relaxed. Again, when you flex and make the muscles pop out, it looks like you're a lot leaner than you are. So again, another reason not to compare yourself to flexed photos online. Be sure to look for people who are in a relaxed state. So in order to be consume an adequate amount of calories, you can't be afraid to gain a little bit of fat throughout the process. So you should be seeing some fat gain throughout the process. Again, I encourage you to stay in your sweet spot. You don't have to blow up throughout this process. Again, depending how big you are, I'm a smaller guy, so even gaining 10 pounds during a muscle building phase is more than enough, whereas someone who's like 250 pounds, getting 20 to 30 pounds might be best for them. So it's all going to be relative once again there, but you want to make sure that you are, like, if you see that you're gaining even a little bit of fat throughout the process, you know that you're consuming an adequate amount of calories to fuel your muscle gains because there's an excess that's being stored as fat. If you're not gaining any fat through this process, you likely can bump up your calories even more in order to make sure you're consuming enough foods to actually maximize, like optimize your diet to maximize your muscle gains. Highly encourage you to focus on consuming mostly whole natural quality nutrient rich foods, like 90% of your diet. Then the other 10% can be from some of your favorite processed foods as well. I want to get so wrapped up in macros, just making sure you're getting an adequate amount of each. I naturally fall into like 40, 30, 30, so 40 carbs, 30 protein, 30 fat. I don't stress over that. It just falls where it is. I hit my calorie target for the day. I'm at the point now, like, eat a lot of the same. These are structured meals that I have all the freaking time, so I don't need to track my calories. I know roughly where I'm at because I'm eating a lot of the same foods. I've learned this skill over time, learned how full I feel, how satiated I feel when I consume the right amount of calories, all that good stuff. So it takes time, it takes practice, but I do encourage you to track your calories initially for a little bit just to make sure, give you an idea, give an education in how much you should be consuming in order to optimize your muscle gains. But again, paying attention to the body fat percentage, scale weight, trending upwards, those are key factors when it comes to knowing that you're getting an adequate amount of fuel to support those muscle gains and maximize your muscle gains. And now for the big question: how much muscle should you expect to gain throughout your training years? This is a very difficult question to answer, one I really can't stand answering, to be honest here, because we really don't know. No one is ever going to know how much muscle you can actually gain throughout your lifting years. And like, when do you begin counting? If you start lifting when you're 13 years old and just starting your growth spurt, like, do you count that scale weight and that muscle growth, or do you wait until you have matured and you've stopped growing, even though that means you've already been lifting like hard for 5 to 6 years? So it's really tough to tell with that. And then we all respond differently to the training stimulus. We all get different genetics. Some are non-responders, some are like super high responders. So it's really difficult to gauge like how much muscle can actually gain. Now, a general rule of thumb, what you see with the evidence is, like, we can expect to gain most of our muscle in that first year, and it's basically going to get cut in half each year after that. So you may be able to gain 20, 40 pounds during that first year of lifting. So the next year might be 10 to 20 pounds and 5 to 10 pounds. Basically, after 4 years of lifting, the general rule of thumb is that you can expect to gain maybe 2 to 3 pounds of muscle per year. If you've been lifting for like over 10 years, it's a game of like ounces at this stage in the game. And that is fun. Like, you should get excited about this. We're not in this just to build the muscle. Like, we love this lifestyle. I mean, I might going to take my last breath with dumbbells in my hand if I have anything to do with it. I love this lifestyle. The thing is, even if I only gain 1 pound of muscle per year or ounces of muscle per year, you see all these other guys around my age, I'm 47 years young, we're gaining a little bit of muscle at a time. Our scale weight might not change that much, but our physiques look so much better. The muscle maturity, the muscle density, just the details in our physique look improved. You can look at guys like Alberto Nunes, Jeff Alberts. These guys, they have really developed some incredible physiques. Now, I take all that with a grain of salt, how much muscle you're going to be able to gain. Again, apply these principles that we've been talking about throughout this video. Give your best effort. See where the cards fall. But don't buy into the hype that if you've been lifting for like 10 years or more, like, you can pack on 10, 20, 30 pounds of muscle this year. I mean, it's just not going to happen. All you have to do is look around. Look at all of your favorite influencers. Who's packing on tons of muscle? Maybe if they're in their early 20s. Look at guys like Jeff Nippard. I think he's about 30, in his early 30s. genetic freak. His mom is jacked. His dad is jacked. Jeff looks absolutely freaking phenomenal. He does everything by the books, by the science, with his training, with his diet. He's going through a slow and steady cutting phase right now, and I'm going to be really interested to see where he falls at the end, because where he's at right now, kind of looking like maybe he's only gained just a minimal amount of muscle throughout this process, the muscle building process there. So you can see how it's slowing down even with him, and he has incredible freaking genetics. Guys like Alberto Nunez, he was building for the past 5 years, decided to do a show, basically came in around the same weight, but looks so much better. I think he won at least one of those shows, placing really high in his weight class and everything, looking absolutely freaking phenomenal. Jeff Alberts, again, looking absolutely freaking phenomenal. So looking around at all your favorite influencers, like who's really packing on muscle? Anyone who's been lifting for more than 10 years, like who's really like blowing up, especially naturally? That's a huge thing. Again, don't look at like your fellow gym bros like, no way, man, that's a bunch of bullshit. I'm gaining tons of muscle right now. They're gaining a lot of weight. Maybe they gained 20, 30 pounds during the muscle building phase. Then they go through their cutting phase to get as lean as they were at the beginning of the muscle building phase. Like, oh, wow, it's like 1 or 2 pounds out of that 30 pounds that I gained there was muscle. So like, it's very deceiving. You can look bigger, you can fill out your shirt, but a lot of it can be fat. So it's very deceiving to gauge when you're just gauging by your fellow gym bros who are packing on weight and saying they gain muscle when they're actually likely gaining very minimal muscle throughout the process. So again, I just encourage you, look around, be realistic when it comes to your expectations. Like, crush it. Just own your genetics. Like, do everything you can to maximize your gains. I am not giving up at all. I'm fighting for every ounce, again, because I love this process. Nothing is going to slow me down. I know my gains have slowed down, but nothing's going to slow my effort down, my focus down in the gym. I'm just going to continue to give more and more, better and better, smarter and smarter in the gym, just to keep in this game for as long as I can and maximize my gains. And it's going to get to the point where it's going to be just holding on to my physique and appreciating that part of the process as well. It's a lifestyle. Live it up. Don't stress over the minutia. Don't stress over hearing these huge hyped up claims that say people are gaining a whole bunch of muscle, even though it's like a bunch of bullshit. And then you think to yourself, oh man, like, how come they're gaining all of this muscle and I'm not? You got to really be skeptical when it comes to testimonials and stuff like that. Just, again, look at all the other influences out there. No one is packing on muscle at outrageous rates. Dinner was delicious, and it was such an amazing visit with Shayner there. I just absolutely love my kids, cherish every second with them, especially now as they're getting older, kind of having their lives of their own. Just appreciate and soak up every moment with them. Afterwards, got out for an evening walk with my furry homie Chiefy dog there. It is brisk. We are definitely in a cold spell right now. Got home and I just couldn't help myself. I had to have a small bowl of chili there. It was just way too tempting, and it was really freaking good. Warmed my belly after that cold walk there. Now it is time to wind down and get an incredible night's sleep. This is probably the most overlooked component of maximizing your muscle gains. That is getting an adequate amount of sleep and managing your stress. You can have the most optimized workout program, optimized diet, but if you're sleeping like crap and you are stressed to the nines, good luck maximizing your gains. It's just not going to happen. So highly encourage that you get at least 7 hours of quality sleep each and every night, preferably 8 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Just again, it comes down to routine. It comes down to prioritizing, just recognizing how much it impacts not just your physique, but your mindset, your mental focus, your clarity. Prevents Parkinson's, dementia, heart disease. There's so many different factors I could go on and on about it. So just definitely, I can't emphasize it enough as I do in all my videos. Make it a priority. There's so many things, so many distractions that you could eliminate in your life to wind down at the end of the day, get a great night's sleep, and really be able to give the best of yourself to all that you're doing the next day. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. But more than anything, I'd love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your insights, share your feedback on today's topic. And before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Lose Fat, Get Jacked. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you in the next video.